Well, hello out there. It is I, DrBossKey, and my trusty and amazing sidekick, Zayflin.
Hello, hello.
Today, we are reviewing another character concept for a character called Simuel. And Simuel is basically, he's like a shaman vampire hunter. And what happened was that he found this ritual in which he could destroy vampires in the dawn. And by using this shamanistic ritual, he would distill in the destruction of the vampire down into a single vampire fang. And then he realized that these vampire fangs that are left over, the only thing left over from these vampires being destroyed in this way, then had powers from that vampire and experience. So he was able to essentially inject these fangs into his flesh, as shamans do, kind of an Aborigines thing, and then utilize some of these vampiric abilities. So we got a new update coming in from Dimitri, which is great. You know, man, this thing is in Photoshop is lagging. One second, let me. We'll just go with it. We'll go with it. All right, so. First, we're going to drink it in and take a look. So this is, I think, our fourth or fifth concept. We're really starting to turn a corner here. In our last review, we wanted to basically cover some of his gadgetry, which is essentially it's kind of a blood bag thing here that gets put into it, and then this connects to his backside. We want to take a look at his backside for concepts and how the gear works, and then to essentially by feeding blood into his body, it turbocharges the vampire fangs to essentially let him awaken the ability. So he can kind of like feed, but he's not a vampire, and it really fucks with his humanity. So as you can see, he's kind of been changing over time. So yeah, we're just taking a look at this guy here, and we have some feedback. So without further ado, all right, let's take a look at this feedback. The previous round of feedback, we basically were, we made some adjustments to the jawline. We wanted to go darker on the tattoos. We chose a better face construction that we enjoyed as well. Zay, I just also remembered, I wanted to still see, did we drop the fangs altogether from his mouth? I thought we wanted to keep like his top fangs exposed.
We did drop them.
Okay, that's fine. I think it was too vampiric in that case. So, and then so we were exploring the gear, which we talked about, and the kind of design mechanical bits, and then we gave him some feedback on the old pantaloons. So yeah, without further ado, I've already kind of written up a bunch of the feedback, and I thought I would give it to you. So first of all, thank you, Dimitri, for going through and working on this. It's been fun and exciting to realize this flavor of character in the DrBossKey universe. While he is an evil fights evil, he's a complex character, and that unfortunately he became, as most of the sort of boss and character monsters in the DrBossKey universe do, too powerful, and so he summoned, or DrBossKey is drawn to him to essentially deal with him, because he's way too good at destroying vampires, which is a good thing, but he's also becoming too powerful, which is a bad thing. So it's all about trying to maintain a balance. So without further ado, so here on the I think on the metal apparatus, so I wanted to see the feedback here is let's try to do a functional. I feel like these should be more like a quick release. Right now it seems like fiddly, so let's explore this, and it's great because Dimitri's got a degree in mechanical engineering as well. So maybe a magnetic vacuum tube, things that snap together, and we can also adjust the blood bag shape itself to be maybe a little soft and have kind of this magnetic kind of quick connect with kind of like a suction tube design. So in general, let's shaman up this tech a little more with hexes and runes. So right now we're taking too many cues, I think, from medical equipment. I think that's a fine place to start, but I also want the feeling that maybe he took some of this mechanical medical style equipment, but then part of what makes it work is because he's essentially transformed it into a shaman artifact. Any questions about that before we move on, Zay?
Nope, that sounds pretty good to me.
All right. I enjoyed overall the clasps and connectors as well, so thank you for that, Dimitri. All right. So what else do we got here? Okay, so I had feedback here. Need to see. Oh yeah. So in general, with the next round, even if it's just rough stub outs, I'd love to see the chain flail cross. He's got this weapon where it's like a cross itself, and we did some feedback on that, and it's got a chain attached, so he can throw it and then recall it. But I really want to see this thing mounted on his backside, and since we're looking at his backside, it needs kind of like a holster thing, so he can grab, throw, and then yank back, or kind of almost like a whip chain and a like a scythe almost, kind of mixed together. Right. And then on the fang dagger side, he's got these enlarged vampiric teeth that he's then we got some good revisions on this as well that are basically his daggers. So perhaps seeing those on maybe his hips, that's but I was also thinking that we have this backside here of the gauntlet, so we could basically do like a holster or a sheath, so he has them on his forearm. So that would be some places that we could probably explore. So maybe the hips, the forearms, and see what comes out of that. So thank you for that. Any questions before we move on?
Nope.
Okay. And then on the backside, we're taking a look a little closer, kind of where he's at. So in general, I like the direction we're going. I also looking at this now that I'm looking at it, I think that's fine. Yeah, okay. So I feel like we probably need to actually have a better design for these connectors and how they kind of come up into the neck. Aw. It's a Loki kitty.
It's a kitty.
She decided she wants some lap time. And right now when we're doing art reviews is when she wants lap time. So, but yeah, so I think that's also a good bit of feedback on there. And then in general, I think I wanted to explore so we have this really nice kind of hard surface with this kind of cowl. And I wanted to bring elements of the surface down into basically his backside, but leave enough open spaces for the flesh to still be seen. I think it's kind of riding too much on his shoulders, and I imagine some of this being a bit more on the so it gives protection, but also that it kind of gives stabilization. So yeah, so let's design that. Let's work on some designs there. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I'm just trying to figure out how we're going to get around that tubing.
I think that I think with the tubing we can totally do a redesign with along with the hard shapes. So we're maybe just a little too soft in the tubing itself. So we can probably one of the things I imagine is that if we bring this like kind of this down a little bit more into the backside, you could have a more hard shape on top and like a protective housing for the tubing itself, so it's not as vulnerable. That is that's basically integrated into the metallic surface.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, it's all fun. We're imagining stuff. It's good. All right, so I wasn't a huge fan of, I think the legs connect into almost the butt cheek. So, and I think the other side of this too is that, or the alien legs that is let's see another version without his clothes on. So I know. Woo. Although I don't seeing this guy without his clothes on would be crazy horrific. But I really want to explore how the the muscles between the additional alien vampiric legs and his actual legs, how those connect. And then that's kind of what I point out here. Let's explore the secondary legs. They should be a little bit more muscular. Right now, they're a little too twiggy and sinewy. So, but they shouldn't be as big as his regular, I think, legs itself. And then I think in general, what I'm kind of imagining, right, is that the legs kind of have a melded muscle and kind of like maybe a bit more of a protrusion, and then they can come out maybe from there. So maybe we can bring them down just a little bit more. But that was kind of the thinking there. I think those are the main things. Overall, I'm really enjoying the direction we're going.
I agree. I'm excited to see the weird alien legs pop out of the back of the legs like, a baby mouth or something.
Ooh, baby mouth designs.
Baby legs.
Okay, well, I'll send that over to you, Zay, to paper up, and I'll get these videos up on YouTube here in just a second, too.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I know it took us longer to do the setup this time, but it'll get easier and better with time. Why can't I switch? Oh, it's in front of us. There we go. Too many windows. Okay, well, yeah, if you have any comments or questions, any feedback that you'd like to get in, feel free to leave some comments down in the YouTube video, of course. We'll do our very best to answer them in our next reviews. Zay's usually checking, I'm checking. And for the folks that are hanging out in the Discord and enjoying where we're going and asking questions, thank you so much for just, being there and sharing the journey and the experience. We're having a lot of fun. And I guess with all that said, then I guess we'll see you next time. I appreciate you.
Bye.
Talk to you later. Bye. I need my stream deck. Yeah.
Time for some